So today I'm going to show you how to put rear and front strut bars on your 1999 Subaru Impreza Outback Sport. It may work for a lot of other models and years. First, you're going to start with the front. You're going to loosen the bolts. You're going to loosen the three front nuts here. My car's kind of old, they're rusted. I recommend hitting them with some WD-40 first, and then starting the job. Wait a little bit, then start the job. I went down to my local hardware store, pick yourself up some hardened metal nuts. Cost me about $5, but they're really worth it. First, loosen up all the nuts with the WD-40. Like I said, give it about 30 seconds to a minute, work them in. I pulled the driver's side ones off farther than the other ones. Get them all loosened up. This is the 2.2 liter Boxer 4 engine. So that's what this should look like. Make it look real nice, the old nuts to the new nuts. Alright, so what you want to do is get yourself a nice rag or a scrub pad or a brush. Pick yourself up a bottle of this Purple Power. It's about $3-4. Advanced AutoZone. Real cheap, and it works real nice. So what you're going to want to do, set that down, is use that to clean up the area of where the strut mount is going. You see how bad that looks? You want to clean that up in the nut, make it so we can make it look real nice, get a nice real flash out of there. Alright, you're going to do that on both sides. Let it soak in for about 30 seconds to a minute, maybe more if it's pretty bad, oil and greasy. And then use your rag or your scrub brush or whatever you have and scrub it off. Make sure not to scrub too hard, because you'll scratch off the paint. So with a nice 10-15 minute cleanup, you take your time. Should look a lot better than what it did. Of course, you can go, beyond the limits and get all of that out of there, but this is just a quick video. Did some cleaning of the engine real quick. So that's pretty good, a lot better than what it was. And there's a towel. That was a perfectly clean towel when I started. So that's pretty good. Of course, you can keep going with this Purple Power. You can do anything on the engine. Just remember, engines do not like water, so try not to get it anywhere in the engine, alternator, oil, anything like that. And I recommend spraying it on the towel first and then going in. So that's about it for here. In the wagons, I believe, it is, most of them, I believe, they have the rear strut bar inside in the back right here. They're covered like that. I'm using that as a temporary ground wire for capacitor until I get the strut bars, and then I gotta find a new place, because it's ridiculously hard to find a new place because you can't ground them with the same amp or with an amp. And the UPS truck here for the rescue has my strut bars. Woo! Yay! Alright, they're in. Here's your front. And that's your rear. Alright, let's get these babies on. First, what you're going to want to do is take the brackets off. Mostly every time you get these, the brackets are on the wrong. So don't try to put the whole bar on by itself all together. You gotta take them off, fit them on. Should look something like that. So once you get it in, them all in, it should look something like this. Remember, like I said, you had to switch the brackets around, make sure they fit in real good. You know, get these down finger tight, both sides. Not too tight, you know, just finger tight. You might have a little trouble. I had a little trouble fitting it in there, but as you can see, I put a screwdriver in there and give it a little hit. Bent it in a little bit just to slide that in there. Alright, so next up, we'll move on to the bar. And this goes in and out. And don't forget these. Alright, first you start with the driver's side. Get it on, put that in there, finger tight. You gotta adjust it. This one wasn't adjustable, you have to adjust it perfectly for both sides. You do the driver's side first, and you come over here, and you match it. It doesn't really matter which way the nut and the bolt are showing. You can do it either way, whatever's easier for you. You're gonna need an Allen wrench, and I'm gonna use the socket wrench for that, just because that's how I like to do things. So right now that's what it's gonna look like. Now you're gonna tighten it down. I do know the strut bolts are torqued. If you don't have a torque wrench, that's fine. You can take it to your local mechanic, and he can torque those down real fast for you. Otherwise, you can just do what I do and tighten it down with all your might, which is also good. But don't snap the bolt. If you snap the bolt, that's big trouble. If it won't go anymore, then that's good. It's good enough. Alright, we're going to tighten these down. We're going to tighten those down first, and then tighten the nuts on the strut. Alright, after tightening those down, you're going to get on these and just crank them down. Not too hard, so that way you don't break anything. Just get a nice tug on them. It doesn't matter which side you start here. You might chip some paint when you tighten these down, but that's okay. You're going to do it on both sides. It doesn't really matter where you start. Sometimes the metal will bend. That's alright. Just don't let it bend too much. It's starting to bend, doesn't mean tighten it down anymore, because you might crack it, break it, or something. Alright, so now that's done. Now they're all tightened down, you can go around and give them the final crank downs, and there you are. Your front is done. Okay, you're going to go in the back, you're going to loosen up these nuts, you clean it off a little bit. You can rip all that out, it's pretty much stapled in there. You can loosen them up, get them to the top on both sides. You're going to pull it off and get ready for the installation. Alright, you're going to tighten these down real nice, not too tight, because you want to get the bar in here. Just get those nice and tightened down. And remember, you can just rip this out, tuck it in, however you want to go, because these little panels going to fit over it, hopefully. If not, you're going to have to do some cutting. Alright, just leave it how it is. Alright, we'll put the bar in. Once again, you're going to go in there, you're going to tighten these ones down first. Get a nice nice grip on them and give them a really good tug. Make sure they're real tight. You're going to tighten the nuts down towards the ends. Alright, and then you're going to go back to your nuts here, and you're going to tighten them down just like the front, as tight as you can without breaking them, because they are torqued. They're not torqued very high, but they are torqued. Just give them so you can't move them anymore. Don't force it beyond that point, or you will break the bolt or the nut, and that's just more money to be spent. Alright, I'm going to tighten these down, and we're going to see if the lids will fit on them or not. They probably won't. For those of you who care about that, you can just cut the plastic right out. I know for some of them they have, it's a cloth. I have the plastic interior. Alright.